All right, here we go. We're getting into the reaction, the Superman 1978 pitch meeting reaction. This is a movie, I'll be honest, that as I got older, I liked. It's kind of similar to Raiders of the Lost Ark for Indiana Jones. If you watch that reaction, it's kind of where I was there. Like when I was younger, I didn't like it because it was boring to me. This movie also kind of boring. After a first watch, I never really wanted to watch it again. But the older I get, the more love I have for it. Still like Superman 2 more in comparison. But yeah, I figured we get into this one here. So let's do it.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking we make a Superman movie. That's the guy that's not a bird or a plane. Well, most people aren't those things. This guy has a little bit more going on than that. Nope. Yes, he does. So the movie starts on the planet Krypton. Oh, Krypton, huh? It's pronounced Krypton. We'll see about that. Okay, and so this guy Jor-El is going to cast away these...
Because Marlon Brando was always saying it wrong. That's why.
3 bad guys into a very uncomfortable rectangle. Gonna be very weird for them to use the bathroom in there. Oh boy, I bet that's not the last we see of them. Well, for this movie it is, actually. Starting the movie with sequel bait? I admire the confidence. Thank you. So Jor-El tells all the other tinfoil suit people that the planet's gonna explode, but they're like, nah, probably not. So Jor-El is like, okay, my wife and I will stay, but I'm gonna shoot my son Kal-El off into space. Kal-El, no! Because he's sending him to son Kal-El off into space. Kal-El, no!
Are we still going on that from Justice League? Oh my God. Okay.
See, it's a good thing because he's sending him to Earth where he's going to be super strong. Oh, well, good. So then Krypton is destroyed, which is horrible, but also kind of looks like a good time. Very nice lights and whatnot. Nice. So Kal-El gets picked up by this old farmer couple who raise him as Clark Kent. Okay. And they're trying to have him live a normal life amongst all the other 40-year-old teenagers. Right. But he's special. He's strong and fast. Like he can run. Well, I wouldn't call it running, but he can move as fast as a train. Very exciting. But one day, Pa Kent dies and Clark finds a green rock, so he decides it's time for him to leave. Oh, he's just gonna leave the mom all alone? He is. So he makes this elderly lady walk about 2 miles out into the field to tell her the bad news. Kind of rude. Well, he's gotta leave because he's gotta go throw this green rock into some snow way up north. Oh, how does he know that?
Yeah.
By knowing it. So a big structure made out of test tubes emerges, and the hologram of his deceased father is gonna talk to him. And what's he gonna say? Well, he's gonna tell him that he's in a fortress of solitude. Fortress of solitude, huh? That's what I call my mansion. Okay. Yeah. Because despite the glimmering allure of riches, I find myself surrounded by opulence, yet feeling an unshakable and unfillable void within. Unfillable void. Oh, unfillable voids are tight. All right.
No.
So Clark heads up to space for a couple of years to learn how to be Superman. Oh, sweet.
What is wrong with him?
Back down to Earth, and he's no longer a 40-year-old teenager. He's a 39-year-old adult. What? So he takes his new facial...
How do we go backwards?
And he's no longer a 40-year-old teenager. He's a 39-year-old adult. What? So he takes his new facial structure to get a job at the Daily Planet, where he immediately falls in love with Lois Lane. Oh, what's her deal? She's a star reporter who can't spell words. Okay. Anyway, she gets in a helicopter, and Superman's gonna stop the aircraft from crashing, so that's pretty heroic.
Of course.
Oh, wow. And then later, he's gonna stop an aircraft from crashing, so that's pretty heroic. Yeah, you already said that. Soon after. These freaking aircrafts can't air properly. They cannot. So then he's gonna let Lois interview him. Oh, he is. Yeah, and she's gonna tell him to look through her clothes and tell her what color her underwear are, and then he's gonna fly her around, and she's gonna write a little poem in her head and recite it to us. What are you talking about? And then he's gonna show up as Clark Kent, because they had a date scheduled. Did he put himself in a love triangle where 2 of the people are him? For some reason, yes. And she can't tell that this is the same person twice. Well, no, he's got glasses on as Clark Kent.
Oh, God.
I don't think that would work. They wouldn't seem like 2 different people.
He's gotta do it.
You're right. Well, that actually reminds me, my optometrist wants me to wear these. Hey, those look really freaking good. Anyway, now it's time to tell you about the bad guy of the movie. Oh, it is? Yeah, his name's Lex Luthor, and he's got a very evil plan in the works. What's his plan? Well, he wants to launch a missile to cause an earthquake to make a chunk of California fall into the ocean. Why? Because he owns the land right beside it, so suddenly he'd have a bunch of coastline real estate. The land immediately next to a bunch of destruction and corpses. Yes.
So wait, hold on. So this was his plan in the first one, which I kind of forgot. And then in Superman Returns, which was supposed to be like a movie continuing from Superman 2, right? He's trying to do the same thing again, but just using the kryptonite to grow land, essentially. Is he doing the same plan over again? Even though I know it's a new movie at that time. But it was still supposed to be connected to all this, so he's just doing the same thing over. Okay, I'm just realizing this.
And so he finds out about Superman's existence and decides he needs to kill him. How does he plan on doing that? Well, he hears that Superman's from the planet Krypton, so he's like, well, we could assume that some debris also traveled to Earth and would be radioactive and deadly to him. How could he possibly figure that out? By making wild and borderline insane assumptions that turn out to be exactly right.
He's a genius.
So they change the coordinates on some missiles and the military shoots them off. The military doesn't double-check coordinates before launching missiles. That's what we're going with. So Lex lures Superman to his place and messes him up with some kryptonite. Oh no. Yeah, but then he leaves his girlfriend with Superman while he goes to watch the missile he launched at his girlfriend's mother. I don't see how that could backfire in any way. But then his plan backfires. What? Yeah, his girlfriend lets Superman free, but not before giving him a little kiss. What? Why did she kiss him? Well, she's like, I didn't think you would let me do that if you weren't incapacitated. So now Superman has to stop 2 missiles. But that's impossible. He's not fast enough. Oh. Yeah, so the freaking earthquake happens and he's got to go underground to fix it. I have no further questions.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Because just from him saying he was not fast enough, this is the same one. It's the same movie when he goes around the Earth super fast and turns back time, right? Is that okay? Let me just go.
Oh. Yeah, so the freaking earthquake happens and he's got to go underground to fix it. I have no further questions about how that would work. But then Lois
he just
dies,
accepts it.
So Superman's sad and gives her a little kiss. Are any of the kisses in the movie consensual or no? Look, sir, are the majority of the kisses in this movie non-consensual? Sure. Is there a scene where a bunch of cops surround an unconscious woman and talk about giving her chest compressions and mouth-to-mouth in a real creepy way? Sure. Is any of this going to age poorly? No, I don't think so. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, so now Superman's very sad, but impossible for him to do anything about it now. Actually, it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, he flies so fast around the world that he reverses time and saves Lois. I thought he wasn't fast enough to stop 2 missiles. Well, he didn't have the motivation of a dead Lois Lane, and the potential death of millions wasn't enough. No, and so then he was saved. What do you think?
No.
Oh, it sounds like a good movie. It's just the whole time travel thing. What about it? Oh, I'm just afraid that might create some kind of precedent. We can't have major superhero movies solving their problems with time travel. That'd be ridiculous.
And yet, that's where we're at. Once you incorporate time travel, unless you take away the ability to do it, it's always there, and it's always going to be the easy way of fixing something. So when they don't use it, you're like, you dummies, like, what are you doing? Why aren't you using what you have available to you? Like, that's the part I never understand. But now we got the multiverse, we got, time travel, all these things. Why isn't it just freely being used by everyone? Or why isn't maybe somebody in the MCU like trying to monetize it? I can see that. Maybe Hammer in some way will try to do that. Who knows? But that was good. All the moments of consensual, non-consensual kisses, kissing all these, either dead or unconscious people, super creepy. There's a lot of things from back in the day that just doesn't age all that well. It's just kind of the nature of the beast, I guess. I'm gonna pull up the Honest trailer so we can check that out. It's a little bit older, so I'm really hoping that's not an old voice. 8 years shouldn't be that bad. It's the right voice, so I'm already happy.
Where comic book movies have become dark and grim, return to the superhero film, full of fun, optimism, bright colors.
I'm sorry, it's just funny to me how he's running across the street doing that. It's like, bro, there's people around. I know he's looking around trying not to see, or trying to see who's around so he can do that, but it's just the funniest thing to me.
And camp.
That's a bad outfit. Whoa.
Maybe a little too much camp.
Bad vibrations?
Okay, we get it already.
Okay.
Superman the movie. Suit up for the superhero classic that proved that even in 1978, Superman still couldn't get top billing in his own movie. Instead, he placed third banana to stars Gene Hackman, who refused to shave his head to play Lex Luthor, and Marlon Brando, who producers were too scared to tell that he was mispronouncing Krypton.
There we go.
You are the only survivor of the planet Krypton. The planet Krypton.
Yeah, you got it wrong, but would you correct the Godfather? Reeve is pitch perfect.
I don't think so.
Superman, a flying Jesus metaphor who is sent to Earth in a Christmas tree ornament.
I have sent them you. My only
I always forget about
He's
that.
a buff Boy Scout, here to fight for truth, justice, and the American way.
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the
That's
right.
American way.
That's what I said. He was so fun to watch, you'll ignore the fact that he's kind of a dork.
Hi.
And a super buzzkill.
You really shouldn't smoke, you know, Miss Lane.
Who's so dumb he gives away his origin and weaknesses in an interview.
I sort of have a problem seeing through lead.
Can't see through lead.
But who cares? Because he'll always be my Superman, okay? Look, up in the sky.
I think that's the part in the comments. Who's your Superman? Is it Christopher Reeve? Is it Brandon Routh? Is it Henry Cavill? Is it the new guy? Or is it going to be the new guy? David Cornsweet? I hope I'm saying his name right. Or do you like the TV versions? You know, Dean Cain, like all that kind of stuff. Or what's his name? Tyler Hoechlin? I can never say his name right. And the new ones? Who's your Superman? Comment below. I want to know. Let me know.
It's love as Superman meets his match in Lois Lane, a superstar writer struggling against her intelligence to spell.
Bloody teeth and bloodletting. How do you spell massacre?
There's only one P in rapist.
What kind of story is she working
Thank
on?
you. What is she?
Sex, it's got violence, it's got the ethnic angle.
Seriously, what the hell is she writing? She's a perfectly sane person.
Oh my God.
Perfectly insane. Seriously, what the hell is
What
she
is
writing?
with that?
She's a perfectly sane person.
I'm sorry. That's scary. And what is the article? What's the article about? My goodness. Like, okay, that's not going to work. But that right there is super creepy.
With a perfectly insane rhyming inner monologue.
You can fly. Belong in the sky.
Watch as she tries to beg a super hot alien by trading thinly veiled dirty talk.
Do you have a girlfriend?
If I did, Miss Lane, you'd be the first to know about it.
I assume then that the rest of your bodily functions
Oh my
are
God.
normal.
What color underwear am I wearing?
Pink.
In a conversation so steamy,
You asked the question.
Superman will turn back time to save her when she dies in an earthquake. Hey, Soups, I know she was your girlfriend, but a couple more spins could have undone the entire earthquake.
Thank you. Okay,
Saved
yeah,
few
there we go.
lives, billions of dollars of property damage.
There we go.
But I get it. You're into pink.
Thank you very much.
Strap in as Superman faces off with his nemesis, Lex Luthor, a criminal super genius who dresses like Andre 3000. Watch as this infamous super criminal challenges the Man of Steel with an overly complicated plot that involves using missiles and earthquakes to destroy California so that he can turn a bunch of desert property purchased into beachfront real estate.
That's right.
Dude, if I wanted to see an industrialist with a bad wig talk about real estate, I'd watch the presidential debates. Am I right? Zing! So we turn to the movie that pioneered the tropes comic book movies have been following ever since, like setting up sequels,
Which I kind of forgot about that, to be honest.
unnecessary origin stories for popular characters, shoehorning in comic book lingo,
This fortress of solitude.
using time travel to fix your mistakes.
Oh, that's another
destroying
one.
Famous landmarks and sky beams.
Dad, are you still talking about that old Superman movie?
What are you doing down here? Go bother your mom.
I think it's so boring. The new Superman has super cool fight scenes.
This one has tons of action too. Let's see.
He
There's
doesn't fight anybody, though.
Oh,
What? That's an action
Well,
scene?
what about?
Come on.
Yep.
Here you go, miss.
You know what
Crap,
fighters
there
do?
aren't any fights in this whole movie.
So it looks dumb when your Superman flies. New Superman looks totally awesome when he flies.
Look,
Totally
in 1978, these special effects were awesome, okay? And hey, at least my Superman didn't kill anyone.
Actually, I really appreciated Kal's value for life being something he has to earn by being forced to take one. As a pantheon of American pulp culture, Superman should evolve to reflect society for what it is, not what we wish it was.
Just get the fuck out of my booth. Starring
Whose kid is this?
Friendly
It's
Cavill,
like, yo.
White Rashida Jones,
What?
Jesse Eisenberg
Hold
Sr.,
on.
Not
What do you say?
Cavill,
Friendly
White
Cavill.
Rashida Jones, Jesse Eisenberg Sr., Peter Parker,
Okay.
and the God's Father, fun Man of Steel.
All right.
Was it necessary to see baby Superman's bait and tackle?
What? Okay. Was it necessary? Probably not. But did it happen? Yes, it did. No, this was a good one. This was a good one. And I'm a little bit torn. Honestly, the honest trailers I kind of connected with a little bit more. Only because like it went a little bit more in depth of the things that he could have fixed when he turned back time. He just saved Lois Lane, really, from what I remember. He didn't actually like go back and fix some of the other things that had happened. Would that mess up something with the Earth. I don't know, but even just turning back time, that's gonna jack some things up. So that's me. But I personally kind of liked the honest trailer a little bit more. That's just me. I like both. I love both. I think the creepy angle that Pitch Meetings went with was fantastic. But also, honest trailer has some creepy moments as well when it came to how it was talking about Lois Lane for one. That picture, super creepy, super creep factor. What about this is attractive? That's just me. It's just me. It's a little bit scary. But yeah, this was a good one. This is a good one. I think I'm gonna go more honest trailers. I think the honest trailers takes this one for me. Again, in the comments, though, let me know your favorite part from this, whether it's a pitch meeting or the honest trailer, but also your thoughts on just Superman 1978. Let me know in the comments, like, who's your favorite Superman actor? Again, Reeves. You could probably even go back to the first, which I always forget his name. And it had that movie that Ben Affleck played in where he played him, and I can't remember it. But you know, for most of us, for the most part, Reeves, Henry Cavill, Brandon Routh. And then you got the TV ones too. Like Dean Cain was one that I really enjoyed because I grew up watching that show. I haven't watched a lot of the new one with Tyler, but he's really good in the role from what I've seen. And he looks the part, which that helps too. But again, overall, just let me know your thoughts on that in the comments as far as which one's your favorite and what you thought of the movie overall. And if there's any like little tidbits I may have missed from this, which I think can also help. So let me know. I'm always interested.